Here I am on the bus. This is the bus of refugees from York College to the Bronx. And we got the bus driver right here. And look at what, his bus, you got to call it the Primo bus because look, it says right here, these words, homeless and veteran, should never be used together. Make the call to access support our veterans have earned. 1-877-48-VET, U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. I'm a homeless vet that used to live on the beach, Far Rockaway. And I understand since I live in the sand between Beach 18 and Beach 37, I'm entitled to some FEMA relief, and my book's coming out. And you should go take a look at the website at www.africana51.com. That's 51thenumber.com. My name is Dr. Philip Dreiss, and a lot of people don't like me. But that's all right. Come to find out, a bus driver saw my hat, and he had something nice to say. On Veterans Day, somebody just walked up to me and said, "Thank you for your service." I'm not accustomed to that because I was made out to be a pariah. My life destroyed, my business destroyed. My business is out of at least $5.5 million net. $100,000 worth of stuff taken out of my penthouse apartment. Everything was taken from me. You know why? Because I was helping out an old lady, because Mrs. Forney Green. And I saved her life when they left her in her apartment with the gas stove on for over 4 hours. And I summoned rescue. In order for the Bloomberg administration to keep that covered up in New York City Housing Authority, which was our people were there prior to the NYCHA acquisition. That's like if you was living in one of these buildings and New York City Housing Authority gets that building, they'll give you a buyout. If you don't take the buyout, you get to stay in public housing. But the rules of succession to that apartment are different than New York City Housing Authority rules. That's what should have covered me. And they did a whole bunch of stuff. I took them to court, and Justice.
You gotta wait for somebody to come over here and get up. Where's he coming from? Where's Swan?
And Justice James J. Golia gave me 2 judgment and orders that said that I should have been deemed a remaining family member, and I never got an administrative process, which that administrative process would have showed that I was entitled to the apartment, so I was therefore wrongfully evicted, wrongfully abused, and I was taken advantage of. Then the congressman sent me to the VA. They locked me up in the psycho ward, fed me medication that ended up having some adverse effects on my health and my body. And I ended up 2.5 years, 3 years later at a homeless shelter for Volunteers of America, where I was abused at that place by Charmaine McPherson, who worked at the Bronx VA. And when I complained about her, the vendor orchestrated a criminal matter which didn't pan out. But then they sent me to the Bronx VA, and Dr. Khan and 2 other doctors locked me up. Dr. Shear made me go from an involuntary patient by Monday morning to voluntary, and then they kept me there for days. That was wrong. I've been abused. The benefits I was supposed to get, which was dental, after being there for 60 days, which would have panned out on November 20th, which is next Tuesday, I can't get. I want it. I want it retroactive, and I'm supposed to meet Dr. Julia Golia, who I had blamed as being the mastermind of this whole hoax to retaliate against me. She called and said it wasn't her. Okay, I apologize. But now, let's get back to me getting my benefits retroactive. And when I'm trying to do a video, I try not to get interrupted, because what I'm saying and what I'm doing is archiving my life. And if you say these words, homeless and veteran, should never be used together, you're looking at the poster boy of homeless vets. and I lived on the beach for 2.5 years. I've been tortured, very disenchanted with this country that betrayed me. I got a $2.3 $1 million lawsuit in New York State Supreme Court. And my job right now is to have the New York State Attorney General disqualified because he pulled off a political lynching on New York State Senator Shirley L. Huntley. What's that guy you have in the Bronx, since you do the Bronx? What's that? His name is Silver, that got busted and convicted? The councilman, somebody? Yeah, well, you gotta wait, Mr. Attorney General. You gotta wait. You should have waited until your motion to dismiss was adjudicated upon. But you pulled that off on Senator Huntley, and you lynched your sitting New York State Senator to be voted out of office, and that's why I want you removed as their defense attorney. Hey, how you like me now? Thank you very much. That's the personal log, November 16, 2012. Hey, Sandy Refugee, personal log. Bye-bye.